Eddie G, Grace Fitness 7. Today we're talking about biceps, a beginner bicep workout. But before we get into that, I wrote down a little bit about the function of the biceps. What exactly the biceps do, that's going to help you. So when you're working out, it's like, am I working the biceps or am I working my back muscles? Or am I working my thigh muscles? You know, because I'm going to let you know the function of the biceps here, and sometimes they're not this here when you're swinging the bar. So let's get to it. So what are the biceps? So the biceps have two parts, right, or two heads. You have your long head and your short head. And for this video, since it's a beginner video, I'm not going to kind of get into where they're attached and everything, the origin and insertions. Just know there's two parts, all right? Here, I wrote down they flex the elbow. So the biceps, they work together in flexing the elbow. So this movement right here, just this, right there. So this is why when you're at the gym and people are curling, if they're doing this here, they're working the biceps. Once they start swinging and squatting and getting on their tiptoes and everything else to do the entire set. Now, if that's your last repetition and you want to do that and you did 4 or 5 strict sets, then okay, 1 or 2 reps is not going to hurt you. But if you're doing every set like that, you got to go back to basics and you got to know, hey, I'm not working the biceps efficiently. Let's go back to the anatomy. What do they do? So they flex the elbow to right there. That's what they do, all right? Another thing they do is supination of the forearm. Just remember, when your palm's facing down, all right, and you turn your palm up, you know, remember a couple years ago, they went from what's up to sup, S-U-P. I know it's a little corny, but you remember it. Palm down to palm up, supination. So when you supinate your forearm, you're working the biceps as well. So when you're doing rows and different exercises, I'll do in part 2 or part 3 of the bicep videos. Just know you can get a little bit more muscle activation from the bicep if you're supinating the forearm during the movement. But today we're just going to do 2 basic elbow flexion moves for you. The assistant shoulder elevation. So when you are curling and you get to this part and you want to elevate the shoulders a little bit more, you're going to still work the biceps. So if you get here and you want a little bit more squeeze and you move those elbows up and you see the shoulders moving up a little bit, you can still squeeze out those biceps just a little bit more. But make sure when you do that, you're controlled of the motion. Every time you lift weights, you're controlling the weights. People always ask, do you lift weights? Well, I use weights. What do you use weights for? Well, I use them to get stronger. I use them to rehab. I use them for more of a range of motion. You're supposed to use weights, not just lift them. Remember, there is a mind-muscle connection. You got to know what you're working. So when you write down, hey, I'm going to work the biceps today, know what the biceps do. They flex the elbow. And yes, I'm going to repeat myself a few times during this video because I got to make a point, because you'll see a lot of people in the gyms swinging, you know, or just doing like this, you know, and they're getting a little bit range of motion. In order to activate more motor units inside a muscle, you want to use a full range of motion, and you want to be in control of the movement. Like they used to say, slow and controlled. It still works. A lot of the basic principles of bodybuilding or weightlifting, they still apply today. You know, they're not going to go away. Muscles are not going to change within the next 100 years. So all the books you read right now on kinesiology, they still apply. So now getting into the exercises. I have 2 exercises here. You can do a barbell or a dumbbell curl. But for this video, I'm going to show you 2 exercises now. I'm going to choose a dumbbell curl. All right, so I got a dumbbell down here. So pick a weight you can do 10 times to 15. This right in there, okay? Here to there. And that's it. Back down, you extend the arm, and then you flex the elbow. Flex the elbow, number 3, right? Flexing the elbow. That's what the biceps do. This weight here is pretty challenging. If I get to 15, I'm going to feel it. So for this sake, I want you to do at least 2 to 3 sets if you're a beginner. 2 or 3 sets, 10 to 15 repetitions, right? 10 to 15 repetitions. How about rest in between sets? Well, I would say rest 60 seconds to 90 seconds. Because again, you're a beginner, you're not going extra heavy, so you don't need that much rest, right? Just right there. I forgot how many reps I've done, but I've probably done somewhere around, I don't know, at least 10. So I will get to about 15, and that's it. That'd be your first exercise, a basic elbow flexion exercise to work the biceps. And that weight wasn't that weight is not that heavy what I was doing right now, but it's still challenging enough to stimulate a response in the biceps. I'm feeling the biceps. I'm not feeling my elbows. I'm not feeling my shoulders. I wasn't swinging. It was a strict move. The stricter you are with your moves, the more you're going to work the muscles that you're trying to work. The less strict you are with your movement, the less you're going to work the muscles you're trying to work, and you're not going to get the results you want because you're cheating yourself. That's what they call cheat reps. Again, you can do a cheat rep, you can do 1 or 2, but you can't do too many cheat reps, okay? The last one is hammer curls, okay? Just think about when you hammer, the grip you have for hammering, you're gonna do a hammer curl. Why? Because the hammer curl is also gonna work your bicep, it's also gonna stress the forearm, okay? And by stressing a lot of movements in the gym, you require good forearm strength, like pulling yourself up if you do a pull-up. I work with a lot of clients, a lot of beginner clients. One of their goals are to be able to do a pull-up on their own. Maybe you're more advanced, you could do them with your pull-ups. So this video is more designed for a beginner or maybe somebody who's been working out for a while but they're not getting the results they want. So the hammer curl. Let me get the dumbbell one more time. And it's the same movement. You're just gonna use a hammer grip here, like if you were hammering. All right? You're gonna notice there's more of tension in the forearm, and it's designed that way, all right? You want to have tension in the forearm. Some people feel like they could do more weight with the hammer curl, and if that's the case, go up about 5 or 10 pounds, all right? And right now, I know it's hard to get dumbbells online, and a lot of gyms are closing or they only allow you so many minutes in there. So if you don't have a dumbbell, you can use a water gallon, all right? Or you can use a bucket and fill it with something. As far as the hammer curls, I do 2 sets, again, 10 or 15 repetitions. If you cannot get to 10 repetitions, the weight's too heavy. If you get to 15, you get to 20 or 25, then it's too light. Somewhere in between there, all right? So there's your exercises, dumbbell curls or barbell curls. Just remember barbell, both your hands will be on the bar. The same exact motion, just both hands are working at once. Dumbbell curls, you could do 1 arm at a time. And then the hammer curls. So again, dumbbell curls, 2 to 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Hammer curls, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Give you a total of 4 to 5 sets. And see how that feels. You could do that once a week until you're ready to do it twice a week. If you do it twice a week, you do it either Monday and a Thursday or Tuesday and a Friday. All right. Eddie G, Grace Fitness 7. If you like what you're watching, subscribe to my YouTube channel and have a good day.